Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dr. Oyinka Solajinoda. I'm the host of Dr. OJ Speaks. Welcome to another exciting week in June where we talk about all things business strategy, tools, branding, finding your niche. So many wonderful nuggets that we have been bringing to you. I hope you have learned a lot. And if you have missed the last two episodes that we started off in June, I highly recommend that you go back and binge watch episode 1 and 2 for the month of June because we have some great information on there for all your entrepreneur heads out there. Today's episode is graciously sponsored by HD Pro Global Beauty Institute and Body Med Spa, getting you the body transformation of your dreams. And also for those of you interested in getting a piece of the med spa industry, which is over 500 billion, from what I've been told, you definitely want to connect with them in their franchise business in a box program. The way to reach them is hdproglobal.com, their website, hdproglobal.com. Now, let's get started with today's episode. But before I jump into the topic, if this is your first time here, welcome aboard to Dr. OJ Speaks TV. We are so glad you're here. But before you leave, kindly do us a favor. Make sure you subscribe, turn your notification on, and definitely we want you to comment, like, and share this video with your community. I will be right back to bring you wonderful hot topics, amazing conversation, and of course, finishing it off with Ask Dr. OJ. Any questions? Like, I have a few interesting questions to address today, so stay tuned. I'll be right back. Welcome back. On today's Hot Topics, we're going to be focusing on some news around the world that are pretty much trending based on the things that are happening to us today. The first thing is working from home. Everyone is becoming mobile, and of course, that is largely in part due to COVID-19 2020, right? But even though we're all coming out of the pandemic and the world is opening back up, a lot of employers are seeing the benefit of keeping a majority of their employees mobile. They can do everything they need to do from their homes, still be highly productive and producing results. But also, I think one of the biggest things about that is keeping overhead low, costs are low, reducing commute for employees, reducing their travel time. And I think they have found the benefits far outweighs the lack of having employees in the building. So a lot more companies are embracing remote working conditions. Secondly, today I'm going to be talking about data. I don't know how many of you are very, very keen on data. I mean, if you are anyone doing business on any platform that needs the internet, we have found over the last 15, 20 years that gradually till date, data is fast outpacing the cash is king quote that we've always talked about, like cash is king. Cash is no longer king. Right now, data is king. And the use of data actually helps to promote and enhance the success of a lot of businesses. So if you haven't been collecting data like, email lists, phone numbers, and several things that we use in pushing and marketing and targeting sales for businesses and several other things as well, data actually allows you to modify and specialize your products to fit the needs of your clients. So that way it allows you to monitor what areas you need to improve upon and things like that. Everywhere we look around right now, data is being collected. And now with the security breaches that are becoming more rampant, data is increasingly becoming something that is worth its weight in gold. So that's just bringing you that news on data being the new king on the block. Now the next thing is automation. Because the month of June is a month to focus on business, I'm bringing you a lot of business related news and hot topics. Automation is something that is becoming increasingly necessary even for small businesses to make you more accessible to your clientele. It's very, very important for you to be mindful and figure out ways, no matter how small your business is, to include automation in your business processes. That means you make it easier for your customers or your clients to not only reach you, but to also engage with your business. So now clients are able to pay you in a way whereby they don't necessarily have to come in contact with you. They're able to book your services seamlessly without getting on the phone with a customer service rep. And frankly, automation helps to bring down and reduce the overhead cost of running your business. This is just a small business tip, because a lot of small businesses do not realize the importance of automating their systems. I know what it means for you to want to always be in contact and be in proximity with your customers. That is great, but the world is shifting, and in order for you to stay relevant, you have to learn to pivot. I mean, that's what it is, right? So pivot your systems and figure out a way to include some automation. Not all, but some. Eventually, maybe all. I don't know if robots are going to eventually take over the world, but humans are running the show. But even though humans are running the show, we are using automation to make our processes a little bit or a lot more streamlined and effective. So automation is fast taking its lead in ensuring that businesses are successful and stay relevant in this day and age. All right, that's all I have for you on hot topics and news around the world, business news today to be exact, and I will be right back to bring you our topic of today. Stay tuned, and I know that you're going to love this one because it's another business strategy or business niche discussion that we're going to be talking about today. I'll be right back. Stay tuned. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're talking about branding, the importance of establishing, creating your brand or any type of brand for any business. So I'm going to get right into it. Our sponsors of this show, like I mentioned, are HD Pro Global Beauty Institute and Body Med Spa. Let me ask you this. When I mention HD Pro Global, given the number of times that we have name dropped them on this show, I bet you already know that their name is synonymous to all things beauty and med spa, right? I think, right? Okay, I hope you got that. But see, that is the critical key. That is why it's important for you to establish a brand. What is a brand? That's a question that can be answered a whole lot of ways. So many ways that we can define a brand. What a brand means to you, of course, could be different from what it means to me. So I'm just going to give you a quick, just a quick definition of what a brand is to me. A brand is something that actually provides a solution, or let me see, an entity that provides a solution to a specific problem. That is my definition of what a brand is. It's not necessarily Webster's dictionary definition, but that is what I understand a brand to be. For example, I have an Apple phone, right? So that brand for me is synonymous with technology that allows me to communicate with people, right? And I wear branded clothes. Some people, when they talk about brands, they think about their designer labels. I'm not too big on those things, but you catch my drift, right? That's what a brand is. It provides a certain solution to a problem. If your problem is having to wear a designer label and people knowing what you're wearing from the space to earth when they see you coming, of course, there are brands that cater to that type of superficial need. But if your brand is really providing authentic solutions to everyday problems, there is a brand that meets that need for whatever need that you have. I mean, the world today is so amazing. We have so many brands that meet so many needs. All right, so we've established what a brand is. Now let's talk about why is it important for you to build a brand. If you're an entrepreneur, you're not just going to go into business and say, oh, I'm here, I'm doing business, I'm an entrepreneur, and then people don't have an identity to kind of attach to you. A brand gives you an identity. It allows people not to pigeonhole you or to put you in a box, but it allows people to be able to locate you, to be able to say, this is this person and this is what they're able to do for me. From my definition, providing solutions to a particular problem, hence, I guess it gives you an identity, right? That's your identity. You are a problem-solving solutionist person for a particular thing. I don't know. Did that make sense? I don't know. Anyway, just say, A brand is very important for anyone who is going into business or being an entrepreneur or trying to make money in the marketplace. You don't get in there and just say, pay me for this and pay me for that. It is very important for people to be able to have an identity that surrounds you. So a brand is like, my name is Dr. Oyinkansola Jinadu. When you hear that name or hear the voice and the name introduced, you already know that this is a person whose brand is communication. I mean, do you guys know that about me? That I'm about communication, talking. I love to talk. I'm just joking. So yeah, my brand focuses on using communication as a tool to help provide solutions in so many different areas. I educate, I coach, I inspire, I motivate. I have a podcast, several things that my brand does, but we do it through one particular avenue. Oh, my mouth talking, yes. So my brand is synonymous with using speech and communication to solve problems or provide value in the marketplace. So that's why it's important for you to establish your brand. And later on in the episode, I'm going to give you some tools and strategies that you can use to actually create a solid lifelong brand that transcends your existence. I think for me that's very important. It's not about having a business and having a name. It's more about a legacy. What legacy is your brand leaving behind? And how many people does your brand actually impact on a daily basis? Now, third thing about branding is this. It's important for you to understand that there is a personal brand and there is a business brand. I personally have repetition. I have a personal brand and a business brand, right? So my personal brand and my business brand for a very long time were sort of like together, working like twins, and they were just kind of interlocked and everything was just kind of meshed up. Now, about 4 years ago, I woke up and said, well, I kind of just had an epiphany, and I guess it was through my personal growth journey, I realized that I had to separate the two. If I was to create a long-lasting, strong, and successful brand that could thrive with or without me. You see that? It's important for you, if you are building a business brand, for you to establish that brand such as it is able to exist with or without you. If you have a brand that needs you at all times at 100% to do and be all that it needs to be, then there is a problem. Your brand as a business needs to be able to have anybody jump in, assume the position that you were assuming, and still continue to move seamlessly without missing a beat. That is the power of establishing a strong brand. As a business, so we're addressing the business brand. But for personal brand, of course, we know I have a personal brand as well. Dr. OJ Speaks is my personal brand. Everything that Dr. OJ Speaks produces requires me to be in the picture. Without Oyinkansola, there is no Dr. OJ Speaks. And that is where my personal brand has been built around the innate abilities that I have to offer value to the world and allowing me to exercise that value by being the center and the person, the face, the voice behind the brand. That is a personal brand. A personal brand requires a person. I don't know if you got that. A personal brand requires a person, hence the fact that it's called a personal brand. But a business brand does not require a person, or should not require should not require a person to function. So when you're building your brand, have it at the back of your mind. What is the mission? Is this a business? Of course, my personal brand is a business. Don't get me wrong. A personal brand is also a business, but it just depends on the goal. It depends on the method of delivery. It depends on what that brand is offering to the world. So it's important for you to be able to separate your personal brand from your business brand. We will be right back, and I'm going to bring you some amazing keys to consider as you continue to establish your brand. Stay tuned. Are you living the life you dream of daily? Are you expressing your creativity while earning a 5 to 6 figure income annually? What would you give for the opportunity to be part of a $500 billion industry that not only meets all these needs, but offers an ever-growing and profitable lifelong career path? If you answered yes to all these questions, then you are the right fit for HD Pro Global Beauty Institute. We offer 3 online self-paced training and certification courses, 9 in-person training with starter kit options for each module, 5 training manuals developed and curated for the lifelong learner. In addition, our mentoring and franchise program is available to get you started with our Business in a Box package. Register online at www.hdproglobal.com, or you can call or text the number 469-420-0246 for more information. The HD Pro Global team is ready to help you master the art of transforming bodies and physical appearance in 90 days or less. Welcome back, guys. So now we're going to talk about some keys to consider when building your brand name, right? When you're branding yourself or your business. Now we're going to look at some keys. The first one, my personal favorite, brand names. Okay, I'm going to make you guys laugh. Oh my God. When I first started my entrepreneurial journey in 2006, I believe, I was thinking about names to go with. Of course, everyone wants to make their brand personal because it's emotional, because you're like, oh my God, this is my baby, I want to have my baby, this is my baby, I need to name my baby. Yes, I really did name my baby. So the first name that I gave my business was Honey Drops Pro. No, it wasn't even Pro. There was no Pro then. What's Pro? Who was that? I was not even a Pro. Which year Pro? I was amateur, real amateur, like from the streets. It was Honey Drops Makeup Artistry something. The name was so long, Kilo Day and T. I was like, Oyinka, okay, because I loved my name. My name is Oyinka. Well, I still love my name. My name is Oyinka Sola. I mean, think about it, Oyinka Sola. Look at how it rolls off the tongue. I know people say your name is long or whatever, but anyway, my name is Oyinka Sola. So I was very much in love with my name and myself, and I felt like I had to be fully represented in my brand. Was I right or was I right? I was so wrong. Over the years, that name has evolved to different things, and today it's kind of like the shortest version of anything you could think of. HD Pro Global, done. I'm like, whoo, it only took me 12 years to figure that out. Okay. It takes as long as it takes. Like, you know, in business, it's a learning process. We grow, we learn, we feel our way forward, we pick ourselves up, and the most important part is you keep moving forward. So the name that you give your business is not the same name you are going to give your children, or the same name you are going to give something else. A business name has to have a general appeal. It has to be something, of course, depending on what your audience is or what your goal or mission is. But at least think about the way the world is today. Businesses are no longer limited to their local vicinity. Now we're a global village and everyone can do business with you from every part of the world. So you want your business to appeal to nationalities, ethnicities, there's no language barrier. You're not calling yourself Yarisika International Distribution, Palace, something, and people are like, okay, well, what's going on here? What's going on here? So a business name has to definitely not only communicate your brand messaging or your brand identity, it has to also be able to make people understand just from reading the name of your business what you do, okay? It's very important, so keep that in mind. Number 2, your brand colors. Oh my God, colors. Have you ever been to a street? If you are from Nigeria, you understand this. Have you ever been to a street? It's not like America here where housing authority, metro will give you, what's it called? They're going to, they're going to write you up or cite you up for doing something crazy with your house. In Nigeria, where I grew up from, you go to a street and houses have pink. Have you seen pink house? Or yellow house? Oh no, yellow is even nice. Or green house. Or a house that is painted blue. Blue house. The first day I saw blue house, I was like, blue. somebody is living inside this house. Blue. As in, it's not even like a kind of blue that's just really, really sexy. It's like blue. You see the way I'm pronouncing it? Blue. Like, I'm sorry, guys. Just messing around. But seriously, your colors are just as important as the name. You have to pick colors that are warm and welcoming, but also colors that actually identify with the niche that you're playing in. So if you're in technology, you're not going to go for some outrageous, outlandish, orangey, weird colors. I mean, well, there's a way that orange can work, but you're not going to go for something that really does not tie your messaging together, or something that's going to throw people off and not make them connect with the business that you're offering. No matter how good of a product that you have to offer, if people are not attracted to what you're bringing to them, chances are, you know, that you're not going to connect with the people, and you're not going to have a successful brand. So you think about it, they say people eat with their eyes. It's like you see a plate of food that is set before you and everything is kind of mumbled and jumbled. That's why when you go to like a 5-star restaurant and the way they present it, that food, you know, is not going to fill your stomach. You're like, after I leave this restaurant and I pay maybe like $100 or something, or $200, I'm still going to stop at Whataburger or something to pick up fries and something to make up for the lack of adequacy in the meal that I just paid a lot of money for. So it's just like that. People eat with their eyes, but you're going to go pay that money to that 5-star restaurant just because of the ambience, the way they make you feel, the way the food looks, the presentation, everything about it just speaks to you, so you don't mind paying for it. As opposed to when you go to another place, another restaurant, where they just slap things on the table and you're like, even if they ask you to pay $10, you're still like, are you sure? Is that something that I really, really need to put my $10 on? So think about it. Your colors are just as important as the name that you pick for your brand. Number 3, what are your brand values? What are the values that you hold dear? What is your messaging? What is your vision? What is your mission? What do you stand for? For example, HD Pro Global is a company that offers medically supervised cosmetic procedures that allows you to transform your body and physical appearance in 90 days or less. That messaging is so clear and concise. Medically supervised cosmetic procedures, and you can know that they're working with the body, and they're offering beauty services. So they're going to make you look beautiful, they're going to improve what you're working with, and they do it in a specific way. Medically supervised cosmetic procedures. So there's not going to be any mistake or any type of miscommunication. They're going to attract the people who need those particular services, or even convert some people who do not know that they need it to becoming believers and actually coming to them to receive something that they are offering. Your messaging, your slogan, the things, the words that you use or you choose to use to communicate your message, very, very important in establishing a very strong brand. And honestly, I'm not an expert. I can say I'm an expert because sure, yes, I am an expert. What are you talking about? I'm an expert. What I was trying to say is, don't take my word as gospel. These are just things that I have personally experienced in over 15 years being an entrepreneur, running my businesses and building multiple brands till date. And like I always tell you guys, I have failed my way forward so many times. So that gives me an authority to share these thoughts with you. But of course, a lot of this information also comes from in-depth research from what we know that works for a lot of brands. Big brands, corporations, small, medium brands, small businesses, all across the board. All of these tools and strategies will work for you. All right, number 4, brand assets. So brand assets starts from, when people talk about brand assets, they automatically assume it just means your logo, right? Logo is just kind of like the baseline, like that's the plate on which you serve your food. Your logo is very, very important, but there's so many other assets that makes your branding cohesive. You have a logo, you have a design template, you have your color scheme, you have your, things that you use to create your graphics and all of those things. All of those things are your brand assets. The logo is just one part of it. Very important, of course, it always needs to be represented in all of your messaging, but it's not all there is to it. It's like a tip of the iceberg. You get my drift? All right, finally, your slogan. I mentioned it earlier. What is the theme of your business? That is one of the things that really keeps a brand going. That's what allows your messaging to be subliminally imprinted in the hearts and the minds of people. Like, the more they hear about it, the more they hear it being said, the more they read it, the more they see it on social media, that messaging, that theme song, that people identify it with certain brands, or that little sound, or those colors, or those words, those are the things that really make your brand long-lasting, and that's what helps you build your tribe and your community. Believe it or not, because there's always someone out there. Like, we have billions of people on the earth, and every single business has its own tribe. But for your tribe to find their identity in your brand, they have to connect. They have to be able to resonate with your messaging. So your theme, your slogan, all of the things that you use to, as I grew, I was able to bring in more people to help me deliver my message, to help me communicate my vision to the world. And today, I am so grateful for where we are and where we're going to. So, guys, I hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Branding, 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 branding. Don't forget to brand yourself, because you are truly a brand, a star made to shine in this beautiful universe. All right, guys, until next time, I'll be back again with another business topic before we round up the month of June. Next segment is Ask Dr. OJ. I have a question for you, and that question was sent in by one of our viewers, so stay tuned and we'll be right back. Hey y'all, it's been another wonderful episode. Now it's time for Dr. OJ questions, right? Ask Dr. OJ. This segment right here, I get questions from different people that have asked me in the past or in the present day, and I get to answer them on air. So this question, I picked it up off of social media, actually from a Facebook Messenger message. Facebook Messenger message. Sometimes this will sound so alike. I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot today, but please, y'all, bear with me. I love you guys. So this question came from a gentleman in Nigeria. He sent me a message, and very, very kind, encouraging message, just really appreciating all of the content that I put out there. And he said, what keeps you going? How is it that you don't seem to tire out? Those were his exact words. And I thought to myself, I said, interesting. It's funny how people assume that I don't get tired. I really do get tired, at least on a daily basis, because I'm not an alien. Breaking news, I'm a human being, flesh and blood. I'm really not an alien. I'm a human being. But I guess I have just been graced with the kind of energy and spirit that I have. I'm someone who enjoys what I do. I think that is the biggest part of what keeps me going. Everything that I set my heart to do, my for-profit, non-profit, content creation business, everything that you see me put out there, I enjoy it. And the best part about what I do is the fact that I do it in a way that is on my own terms. I use my gifts and abilities every single day. I get to talk, I get to laugh, I get to sing. No, I don't sing. I don't know, my voice sounds like this. It has refused to go through puberty. Like I explained to people why my voice is so thin and high-pitched. It refused to go through puberty when I went through puberty many years ago. Not too long ago. I'm still young. Okay, so don't think that I'm like old. Y'all know my age. Don't mind me. But seriously, my voice refused to go through puberty, but I have learned over time to use that voice to bring hope and peace, laughter, tell some real truths, a lot of real truth, encourage people, but always speaking life. One thing I avoid is bringing people down. Of course, as a human being, I make errors and mistakes, but that's really what keeps me going. I absolutely love and enjoy everything that I'm doing. So even when I'm tired or feeling a little burnt out, once I get into the mix or into the mind frame or mindset of producing, creating, oh my goodness, I can go on and on like the energy bunny on was that Duracell battery. That's just me. Somebody actually called me that energy bunny. There's so many names I've been given, but I am grateful to God for you guys noticing, appreciating, and just embracing me and loving on me. Thank you guys. I could not be here today filming this episode at this time and space if you guys were not cheering me on, supporting, loving on me, and just allowing me to be myself. Because being yourself is the most comfortable place that you can be in. And that's the one word I'm going to leave you with today. Just always strive every single day to be the best version of yourself, because that's who God created you to be. Because you're always going to find your tribe, and you're always going to have people who need what your authentic self has to offer. Alright y'all, that's it today from me, Dr. OJ Speaks TV. Another episode done. We're done. Thank you guys for tuning in today. I know, like I said, I can't sing, so forgive me. But wait, before you go today, subscribe. Come on, subscribe. Turn your notification on. You don't want to be missing all this fun. You don't want to be missing all this ginger that I'm bringing to you every single week on Dr. OJ Speaks TV. Until next time, I love you. God bless you. Bye.